Today we're at Pintastic Pinball and Game Room Expo.
And we're here to play some pinball.
So I'm geeking out pretty hard right now. We just got a chance to walk the convention floor, and I gotta say, the nostalgia here is hitting me pretty fiercely. I'm old enough to remember arcade rooms and pinball parlors, so being here is taking me right back to my childhood.
Let's talk about that. Didn't pinball used to be a big thing, and then it fell into obscurity, and it's back, maybe?
Well, for nerds of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, pinball was such a prevalent form of entertainment. Early pinball were rudimentary marble and pin gambling games similar to Plinko and was once totally illegal. Eventually, flappers, ramps, mechanical toys, and lights and sound were added, changing it from a game of chance to a game of skill. In the late 70s, pinball in its modern incarnation became completely legal and took inspiration from what was hitting big in popular culture, with machines based on Evel Knievel, Superman, Flash Gordon, and games featuring more complex rules, digital sound effects, and speech. Pinball's popularity continued to grow and at one point made more money than the entire movie industry. The 90s came and saw some of the very best of pinball era machines, like Addams Family and Twilight Zone, two of the most technically advanced machines ever made. It was also in the 90s that pinball began to make its descent, as video games officially took over the arcades. Players took to games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter over becoming the next pinball wizard. What was once seen as a rebellious game of skill began to fade into the background. But pinball interest is on the rise again. New machines with bigger intellectual properties are being made, like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Ghostbusters, and many more. And there are tournaments and festivals aimed to bring young fans and old together for the simpleness of enjoying a pastime and to reminisce.
Like here at the Pintastic Pinball and Game Room Expo?
Yes, indeed. So why don't you go ahead and take the talking stick and let the folks at home know what this is all about.
So the Pintastic Pinball Game Room Expo is an annual event that occurs in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. Fans get to enjoy a day of pinball. They pay $20 for the day, and they get access to over 200 pinball machines that are set to free play. It's a really fantastic experience. In addition to the hundreds of new and old games, there are also tournaments, seminars, and exhibit halls of merchandise and products.
Indeed. So, I've always been a pretty big fan of pinball, but my parents were not oil barons, so
Sadly.
I never got to own one of these machines, so I never got to fully immerse myself into the fandom. But being here right now and absorbing pinball culture, it's really fascinating seeing the seriousness of tournament play and the extent that some fans go to customize and trick out some of their machines. So what were some of your favorite machines?
Well, I really loved the Munsters machine. I loved that show, so of course I loved the machine. And I loved the Dolly Parton machine because I'm a country music fan and she's amazing. And I loved the ones that were the old-time wooden ones. They kind of felt like I was on a boardwalk somewhere playing in a carnival game. It was just a really nostalgic feeling.
You're totally right. Seeing those older classic machines has an interesting way of bringing people back to a certain time and place.
Even if I wasn't alive then, I agree. And there were a lot of newer machines too.
Yes, there were. I can't actually really remember all of them, but I do know some of the more popular ones were Game of Thrones, Walking Dead,
Yes.
and I saw a lot of people playing Deadpool.
Because Ryan Reynolds is amazing.
True that. True that.
My travel agent is gonna get such a talking to when I get back.
So, final thoughts. What did you think?
I had a fun time. I really enjoyed myself. I've never claimed to be a skilled game player at all. But it was really fun to watch other people who had the skill, who could rack up all the points on these games. And it was fun to try them, even if I wasn't good at them. There were a lot of games to enjoy, not just like games that you could try, but there was also a demo. The Frozen one was really cute. So overall, I had a really good experience there. I definitely want to go back. What about you?
Well, I had a great time too, and I like pinball. I've always liked it, and the reason I like pinball is because of its simple addictiveness. Sure, there's the wonderful artwork, the sounds, the lights, and the gimmicky toys and whatnot, but at its core, it's just a simple game of racking up points. And unlike a video game where once you play through the story, you're done, pinball is just a matter of outdoing yourself and outdoing others, and it is essentially endless. Now, while I'll never be able to actually own one of these machines because I don't got a spare 5 or 10 grand hanging around,
Unfortunately.
yeah, but I really enjoy the fact that these type of conventions exist, and I got to be exposed to the world of pinball, the excitement of being here, the nostalgia. Oh man, it is so fun. And I gotta say, this has reignited my passion for pinball. So Pinball Fever is back, baby! Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Hope you enjoyed it. For more information on Pintastic, go ahead and hit the web link bottom of the screen. And for more of our adventures and shenanigans, please hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. And don't forget to click the bell so you can get our weekly updates. And Jess, why don't you go ahead and hit them with our sign off.
Eat, drink, and be nerdy.
And play pinball.